Chromacopia, Chromacopia. What's up? What's good? We are back on the channel today with another banger. I know it's been a while, and sorry for the delay, but I'm glad to be back. Life got in the way, but I'll make sure that this doesn't disrupt my uploading schedule in the future. Now today, we are here with a banger of an album, Chromakopia by Tyler, the Creator. It dropped a couple months ago, and it's just an amazing album. One of my favorites from this year. And specifically, it's a great hip hop album. It's Tyler's 8th studio album, and it's a really damn good album. So let's just jump right into it. Let's get it. All right, let's start off with the artist's ability. First things first, we start off with the lyricism. This is a really good lyricism, honestly. It's great lyricism. This is some of Tyler's best pen game and some of his best bars on any album. Along with that, the flow is very unique. It doesn't really feel the same on every single song. He really switches it up well. On top of that, the production is elite. This is some of Tyler's best production as well, and this is saying a lot because Tyler, the Creator, is definitely one of the best producers out there. A Kanye disciple, so he's just an elite producer. On top of that, he actually did really solid with the vocals. He even sings in some of the songs, and I know he's done that in previous albums like Igor, but I feel like he steps it up another level in this album, and he actually sounds really authentic, and you can hear his real voice, and just really, really damn good. So from a whole technical standpoint, from specifically an artist's ability, this is an elite album. Now moving on to album quality, this album is elite. There's no skips. The worst song in my opinion was Sticky. It's a really good song. It's a fire song in all honesty, but it didn't really add that much to the concept in my opinion. So I feel like it was kind of just thrown in there just to be a hit song, but still a good song. In terms of the popular songs, you obviously have Saint Chroma, Noid, obviously Sticky. In my opinion, the best songs are probably Like Him, Saint Chroma, and I don't know. Those are probably my two favorite ones, but I think Hey Jane's also a really, really good third song. In terms of the underrated songs, Judge Judy's a banger, Tomorrow's really good, and I Hope You Find Your Way Home was a really, really good closure to this album. So those are some of my picks. And in terms of the features were also really damn good. I think my favorite feature is probably Schoolboy Q, but I also really, really enjoy Daniel Caesar and Childish Gambino. So overall, from an album quality standpoint, this album is elite as well. Now we delve into the concept of the album. I personally really thought this was a fantastic concept. It was really well executed. It was very, very introspective as well. I think it all kind of revolves around the idea of color or light, because chroma means color in Latin, and essentially shows how Tyler brings color or light to this dark world with his creativity in his music. And then after that, he kind of has this rise in popularity, which leads to fame and riches. But with his newfound fame, Tyler then becomes paranoid in the song Noid, right? But despite this paranoia, Tyler finds love. It's just the issue is that he can't commit to any long-term relationships. And a specific example arises where his girlfriend becomes pregnant in Hey Jane. And this song is written very, very well. Because essentially there's two verses. The first is from his point of view. The second is from the girl's point of view. And it really shows all the fears, the feelings, the opinions, the morals, essentially everything that's tied to this shock pregnancy. And shout out J. Cole, but it's very similar to Lost Ones by J. Cole, which was on Cold World Silent Story. Essentially that's a similar song about how one verse is from the guy's point of view, one verse is from the girl's point of view. It really shows you everything involved with a shock pregnancy. But yeah, after this, it's kind of implied that they take an abortion, and then their relationship kind of breaks down because it was very shallow and superficial. And then Tyler kind of enters his hoe phase in Sticky. This song, again, I told you, like, I didn't really like its placement in that album. It didn't really, like, doesn't really tie well with the concept, so that's why it has like, the worst song, and I think, like, the concept of the album could have been better without it, but I don't hate him for putting it. It's a good song, right? But after that, Tyler then, like, starts to look within, right? And he tries to figure out who he is and what makes him him, right? He analyzes how, like, his friends have families while, like, he doesn't, and it's very, very similar to Welcome to Heartbreak by Kanye, essentially, where, like, he compares how, like, his friend has, like, pictures of his daughter while he has pictures of his car. Same thing here for Tyler, right? And then he finally delves into how he's aged and changed as a person, how he's matured, and he wonders, like, now if he should, like, quit music to, like, start a family, and then starts addressing culture vultures, cancel culture, fake friends, and how his maturation as a person and artist has, like, changed him in the public light. And this was all in, like, Thought I Was Dead, essentially, like, showing how, like, society, like, wrote him off after he took a break from music, but he came back more motivated, put out some really good music with this album, and got really introspective with this album. And now we get on to the most introspective track on the album, which was Like Him, which is essentially where, like, he's, like, talking about chasing the ghost of his father, and he, like, wonders how this absence of his father has affected him and his identity. Then, to try and, like, close out the album, he finishes off the album by, like, highlighting the importance of hard work and how being superficial is really improper, and it's like it takes a hit to your moral character. And then the last song, he talks about, like, how he, like, hasn't really, like, done well by, like, not keeping the child, or at least emotionally, because he's really thought about it, thought about maybe deciding to have a child now, like, wondering if he should have kept the child earlier, things like that. And then along with that, he kind of talks about how he has been trying to find his way home. And that's the point of the whole song, right? Like, of I hope you find your way home, right? You're trying to, like, he's trying to show us that he's trying to find his way and trying to find and become his best self. Like, that's the point of, like, this album as a whole, right? Because, like, the last song kind of loops with the first song, and it shows, like, the cyclical nature of life, how you go through many periods of self-reflection and interrogation, and how you, like, are very introspective, and it's a cyclical nature, right? And you eventually try to become the best version of yourself at the end of it all. And I think it worked really well as a whole. Like, it was a very, very mature concept to take and just put it into an album. And honestly, his best, like, conceptual work. Igor was really good concept too, but this was definitely a lot more personal in my opinion, and it really, like, struck all the right chords. So, like, yeah, this album was very, very Mr. Morale of Tyler. I think it's a good way of putting it, because Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is one of the best, like, introspective therapy albums ever, like, from any artist. Like, No Glaze, man. Like, I know I'm a Kendrick fan, but still, it's a brilliant album. And I think this album really, like, touches on the good things of that album, and it just spins it in a different, like, light, because it's, like, Tyler's perspective, right? It's not Kendrick's perspective. So it's a brilliant concept, well done, and from a conceptual standpoint, it's an elite album. Finally, onto comparison. I don't know. I think it's an elite album from, like, all, like, standpoints, right? It's one of Tyler's best albums, and I think because of the importance of concept, and, like, because of how much importance I place on concept, I think it's better than Flower Boy and Call Me If You Get Lost. Igor is also a brilliantly well done conceptual album. It's just, I think I really like the introspectiveness of this album more than Igor, which is why I think personally this is Tyler's best album, and it's honestly one of the best albums from, like, the 2020s. And if I had to, like, rate it on a scale from, like, 1 to 10, probably say, like, a 9 out of 10. It's a really damn good album. It is probably my album of the year from this year. That's gonna be tough, but to decide, because there's a lot of really good albums. But I'll come out with a video later on this month and talk about, like, my personal picks for, like, the top rap albums of the year. But this is definitely up there, and it might be the best one. So again, brilliant album, well done, and 9 out of 10. That's all we have for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Am I too high, too low on Tyler's album? Anything else? Whatever it is, just let me know. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time.